No.
Sitting there, late at night?
Not in the unit.
Okay.
It's not against it.
Well, I'm not speeding yet. I mean, not then. No, I mean,
Right.
see?
No, Ohio has that law, but Indiana doesn't.
You don't have to worry about law enforcement if you're not breaking the law.
Yeah, the questions? Yes, ma'am.
Daytime sleepers, and I don't know what's going on in this town with these loud, I don't know if they're getting ready for the fair, if they're banging on the automobiles, if they're Paris Avenue late at night, 60 miles an hour, and what is it that these people can bang and do things during the day outside when you have a daytime sleeper?
I sympathize with you because I spent 12 years on this department working in that shift. So I was the daytime sleeper.
Can we do anything about that?
What the law says, it has to be reasonable. And truthfully, that's a subjective interpretation by the officer. So, for instance, if there is a loud noise that's keeping you awake, call us, let us know, especially if it wakes you up. We can go down. Now, the person is doing routine work, and this is, let's say it's noon. We can talk to them and try to be a mediator, but we can't force him to stop doing it. No. Yeah, but feel free to do it though. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. We're willing to help out. We've got people playing music though. People playing music loudly at 5 o'clock in the morning. We've taken some enforcement action against them. It's been an ongoing issue. Any other questions? Let's hear it.
I have a complaint on the towing yard, McDonald towing.
Mark.
They're very rude. I mean, one of the things that came right up in my face, I had asked her. It had to be in my face, literally right in my face the whole time we were talking. She said, what? I'm not sure, when I first went up and asked her if she had that on camera directly in my face, she started asking me about Gary Cal. She is my landlord. I didn't know how to get out to get my vehicle out. I tried Friday to get my vehicle out. Well, I called to see how much it was going to cost. They told me one price. When I kept trying to get through to them, couldn't get through. When I finally got through Wednesday, they charged me more than what they told me they were going to charge me. And it was very rude, very rude.
Now, and I am aware of this, she has come in, and actually I was the one that gave her that complaint form to fill out. Actually, I would need a copy of that as well. It's a complex situation because there's so many different variables involved. The first one being is your car actually was not impounded.
Yes.
All right? Now, there's times where we will impound a vehicle as an agency because of a law violation. It's got expired plates, doesn't have
I
insurance.
mean, this thing,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, it's not nothing to do with how you guys
Right.
did it. I mean, I'm
Well-
not saying that at all, I'm just saying this is the company that is towing for everyone in this town pretty much.
So they wouldn't release your car when you called.
What
them,
had
you were
happened-
gonna pay.
They had told me they were closed, I asked them if I could come and get it on Saturday morning, because I can't afford $300-400 to get a vehicle out. They told me it would be $100 tow fee, $20 a day. I wanted to go get it the next day. Friday it was late, I understand that. They told me I couldn't, it was they were closed for the weekend. But then I have people come to me, well, why didn't you come to me? Because I could have had it out for you. It shouldn't be like that. If you're not gonna let the person come and get it, it was mine. They're closed, but I could have got other people to go get it for me. I don't know how it works.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
I was not aware of their time. I contacted the owners of the company, and they say that they are open Monday through Friday.
And
Would the advertise?
yes, in the
On
phone book.
on certain parts of, the yellow pages, and different
But
types
if
of
it's out there
business.
one place.
Yeah, that says 24 hours, but that's not put out by that company.
So when I did ask about, when I got there, I wanted just a printout of like what they charge for, okay, say $100 for the tow, $20 a day. I got a receipt, but they charged me $150 for my tow instead of the $100 that they towed me in the first place. Wow. Instead of for just the tow from Marathon to the place, they towed me $100 on Friday, $20 a day. When I finally got there Wednesday to get my vehicle, they ended up charging me $150 for my tow and then $20 a day. So it was $270 by the time I got there to get it. Then lets me know, well, you got 13 minutes because it's my lunchtime. We're videoing as I'm getting my stuff out of my truck. That's my stuff. I understand being off to the side videotaping if you videotape everyone. But being directly in my face, then when I asked for a printout of what they actually charge,
I didn't like seeing that.
she says, well, I'm not McDonald's restaurant. At that point, I said, now you're being a smartass, I think I need to walk away. There was no need for that. And he even said they've had complaints on this, but no one's coming in with reports. This is the company that is working, how is everyone in this town being treated when they go into this?
As far as the town's concerned, just so the council knows, this was a private tow. Like I said, it was a non-criminal incident crash.
Yes.
This lady was involved in a traffic collision with another individual. I did speak to the officer that took the report, and as has been common practice with the department, he asked her, do you have a preference on who?
I don't.
And I understand her point, because she just got in a crash, so I'm sure her nerves are, I understand that.
As long as, I just wanted my vehicle somewhere, but didn't expect to be treated like a dog when I got there. There was no need for that. I didn't come up there cocky, I didn't call. Yes, I was probably a little rude on the phone when I tried to get a hold of you for 4 days. All you did was build up my tow fee. Not including on top of that, one of the titles to my truck. Well, you can turn the title over. If I couldn't afford to pay it, I could turn my title over. That was towed to me on Friday.
Have you retained an attorney on this issue?
Yes, I have. He was here, but.
The way that I interpret it, and again, I will take a look at what you wrote as well, it's almost like a private issue between two private people.
I understand that.
Now, I understand the connection,
know
because
what-
I know that this company does tow for the town. In this case, it wasn't an impound. That being said, I don't want this issue to happen later on to somebody else. Okay?
Yes.
And so what I was going to do is, I did a bunch of research on this actually. Depending on the area, in Terre Haute and Vigo County, don't have anything similar to this. But you guys as a council can pass ordinances stating that, this company, if they're impounding a vehicle, has to release on Saturdays or something along those lines. Now, the company, I think, to be fair, if they want to be closed that day and it's an after-hours call, I don't think it's unreasonable they charge extra for an after-hours call.
We live, my mom lives right next door to them. We see traffic there all hours.
But the
Almost
issue, the
weekends.
appearance
You're
is
there now.
that she contacted to get her vehicle out on a Friday, on a private tow, and they said that you cannot pick up your vehicle on a Friday, that we aren't going to be open until, release that vehicle until Monday. So basically, this vehicle sat there Saturday and Sunday, accrued $40 total out of $60
$60
including
because she was
Monday.
charging me for that Friday.
She called them Friday to tell them to be there Saturday to get them. Honestly, I just, we've had several complaints. I just think that since it's a problem, we just made completely.
My recommendation to council is let us actually, this is the first formal complaint I've ever seen. Everything else has just been hearsay. I said, we can investigate, I can actually assign it to our criminal investigations division, they can look at and make sure the laws are violated. Based off what I see, I don't think there was. However, that's something we can go to the prosecutor's office about. And I think that the council should think about passing an ordinance dictating, it's up to, Terre Haute has an interesting one, but it only applies to what's called the non-consensual towing, which is everybody's seen in the news. You park your car in somebody's parking lot, and a record just picks it up because they've got a private agreement with the owner. Their laws or their ordinances only applies to that particular circumstance. But in that case, that company has to release that vehicle within 24 hours of being contacted. So that alleviates the issue where somebody, gets their car towed on a Friday night, and then they're without their car till Monday, and it's right there in charge.
And I guess the problem is obviously she wasn't treated very nice. I mean, if they're treating her like that, who else has been treated like
Well-
that and not reported it to us? That's my big
Sure.
problem.
My dad was
That's
with me
not
too,
acceptable.
and they
That's
were really
not-
rude to my dad, even up in his face.
That's not good customer service. And if my car breaks down, your car breaks down, you want return customers, you want us to use people in the town, I'm not gonna do somebody treats me like that.
I would not
Well-
refer them to anyone.
The issue is you've got a private
Right, but
transaction
as a
between two
town-
parties.
As a town, I don't want them reflecting that type of mentality, rudeness, because then
That looks bad, that's period.
But this was not a town tow.
Right, but we know how.
Right, I
But it is a town, it is a company that you guys use for the town, is what I'm saying. How are they being treated? If this was just a
Well,
private
and
town-
like I told you, because They came in, you spoke to me here after that incident, I actually talked to him about it. Unfortunately with this though, it's not an impounded type thing. You know, it's basically, and I've gone so far as to tell our officers, and it's been common practice, hey, do you have any preference? I've now ordered our officers right after
Well,
that.
guaranteed I will never use it
Right.
again.
I order our officers up
That's
to, if it's a crash, or you know, let's say a disabled vehicle where the person's still there, we're not impounding the vehicle, we need to get it off the roadway to let traffic move. Our officers are now gonna explicitly tell everybody, can we call any tow company that you want, and as long as it's a lawfully recognized tow company, I mean, I don't care if it's from Brazil or Marshall, we can have them. That's your choice though. In the
And
product.
he did ask me if I had a preferred, but like I said, I was upset.
And I do
And
understand.
I never dreamed of being set and treat
Mhm.
me the way they treated me. Never dreamed of that.
And the only other thing I was just saying, for your particular case, I don't know the exact specifics on when you left, but I know that when you were there when they arrived, or were you not there when the tow company arrived?
No, I wouldn't, the officer had told me I could go in, I was hurt. They
Yeah.
had told me.
Well,
to
and you
go
were
in.
just in a, I
And I
understand.
did ask if I need to leave my keys,
Mhm.
and he told me, no, he didn't think so. They would just, well, then she had complained that I didn't leave my keys with the vehicle. Well, I didn't because he had told me I could go ahead and take them, so I took them.
And I totally understand if you were just a crash, I understand that. Unfortunately, like, you probably should have chose another company.
Well, yeah, I should have, but this is a company that my town uses on daily basis. Why
Oh, and it's
should,
the closest tow company for you.
but why should I feel that I couldn't use them if my town is using them? Why would I feel that I couldn't use them?
My best recommendation for your particular case, and again, I want to take steps to make sure that doesn't happen again. But for your particular case, I would say get with your attorney and file a lawsuit. Voice your complaint, say, hey, I wanted to pick it up on Friday, but I wasn't able
And
to.
I knew it was a little late on Friday, so that was understandable if I couldn't go that late, but I should have at least been able to get it Saturday. There was no reason that they charged you all this money and didn't tell me where to park it.
You can also go to the Better Business Bureau and file it there too. Like this.
Didn't Terre Haute require a national speaker to?
Yes, everyone I called does.
I don't,
The ordinance that I read, and now, all right, so I pulled up the Terre Haute city ordinance that the city council passed. I figured that'd be the most applicable to something like that in our area. And you give a lot of authority to the Board of Public Works. And the times I've gone in there, I've been talking to them. That's something that I was gonna talk to you about.
so I think they do it, and it's not under my jurisdiction, but I've seen at least it requires an IT statement, just so they can show what charges are allocated, where, because I think they have fixed.
And that's all I had asked for, and she said, well, I'm giving you a receipt, and I can't give you paperwork of other tows. That's not what I was asking for. I mean, there has to be a certain amount that you charge from one place to the other. That's all I was asking for.
Well, and if this was a police impound, let's say like you
Yeah.
didn't have insurance, you were legal, I mean,
Yeah.
everything was fine. But if your car was impounded, there's a plethora of paperwork that was done on that. And there's well, it's informal, it's not written, but it's been an agreed upon price for $100 per tow, $20 per day storage.
Well, and that's what I was told.
And it was an
on Friday at the
impound,
time.
you know, the town would have a lot more teeth and say it, and if something was done wrong. The flip side of it was that impounded, you couldn't get your vehicle out until you talked to the police department.
Yes.
It would not have been open until
Well,
Monday
she
anyway.
still called you because she told me she had to notify the police station before I could even go get my truck. Why?
That's a private
Because I had everything.
No,
There was
you-
no
you-
reason. She hung up with me to call back because she said she could not let me come down there and pick up my vehicle.
The only
You for a release.
involvement our officers would have is since your vehicle was not drivable due to the collision, is to make sure we open up that roadway, because we want to, I mean, there's state law, we have to keep the roadway closed for as little time as
Yes.
possible.
Which my vehicle was off the road at
Right.
that time.
I've seen that accident, and her vehicle wasn't interfering with traffic. She
No,
went
it
right
was
against
off.
the curb line.
Right, well, we still have to have it removed at that point, but again, and I told our officers, we've been given an order to make sure it's explicitly
My
clear.
bigger concern would be, why is the town using a company that is gouging its citizens? When, last month or the month before, I was in this council room, and there was a lady in here from another tow company that was charging half of what this girl's talking
But it's
about.
not the price that they charge necessarily. They have to be able to provide a secure impound. They have to have a response time that's reasonable for our officer. You guys figure, most of the time, we're running one
So they
officer.
can charge
That's
whatever,
it.
I mean, sky high. And I mean, they're literally.
Well, and
gouging.
every tow company you talk to, your impound fee is gonna be fixed, okay? Because they're picking up the vehicle and they're taking it. for a crash, because by state statute, all tow companies are required to clean that scene. And depending, I mean, obviously, a simple fender bender is going to be easier to tow than a rollover where you have to pick up pieces of the car scattered out throughout the roadway. And
Well, they
again, it
didn't
comes
have
down
to
to
do
the
that.
itemized bill. is
I
what you
cleaned
Yeah,
do.
they did, because I cleaned it
On the
up.
truck, but the other truck, I got all the stuff off the side and put into my truck.
Because
And
it was
it's
right
still
there
sitting
in
in my
front of
truck.
our drive, and I went out
Yeah,
there.
it happened
with
right in
broom.
front of your business.
Yeah, right there, and I went out there with the dustpan and broom and swept it up.
I was
You
saying,
had
there's
to?
no glass whatsoever.
Now, that's, state law is clear on that. That is the
Because
requirement of the
I
tow
went out
company.
and it's on tape, me out there sweeping it up.
Well, let me look at your complaint that you've done. Again, I'll get with Jared, I mean, probably some legal opinions on it in terms of the action, but your best course, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, but to pursue civil litigation against him. That's-
You can always look at that possibility. He can advise you to do that.
so, But I will get in touch with you again about it, like I said, I've been waiting to actually get your complaint, but thank you for bringing it. Any other questions? Thank you.
Scott, do we need to suspend service pending your investigation?
I would say, let me look into this tomorrow before we decide anything. The reason being is there is a benefit for the company being closed. Again, the way I look at it for our officers, they have to
There's
have,
not been, I've had
Well-
several complaints, Scott, you know I've had.
I know you have it, but
And I'm not.
never one, none official.
If you were treated like her, that's not acceptable, that's not.
No.
But it's,
I mean,
it's
to
a
me,
private.
How do you know
Like
how
you
she
okay
acted
it.
when she went up there, though? And there is a standard prices for everything, and usually they're lower than the other tow companies. Call a few tow companies and find
I
out.
have, I did.
We deal with absolute.
But what I'm saying is, I should have been told one price on Friday, and then when I go to actually get my vehicle, it was $50 more.
It's because you
than what it
left it
was.
there 5 extra
No, it was
days.
$100 for the tow. It was $100
Storage
for the
shouldn't
tow.
start until 24 hours after they tow it. They start right then.
I mean, I'm not the only
Any city.
one.
Why is it that the chief of police's decision to make a town's decision on who they're gonna use as a token?
He can suggest or advise us. And that's what he's saying. He's taking this under advisement. He's gonna look into it, get back with us and let us know so we have both sides of it. So we can make an informed decision from there.
What I emphasize, this is the only formal complaint I've ever received. I'm not even opened it up to look at it yet. I've heard every hearsay rumor that's there, trust me, I have. But again, that's all they are, is hearsay. And in my particular job, I can't go off of hearsay. I have to go off of fact and fact only. That being said, the company in question will be any other company that exists that I know of in terms of response time.
Oh, yeah.
We're running one officer, if they need a vehicle removed, it's gonna be removed within 5 minutes, 9 times out of 10. And that's the advantage that I see with that company.
And I know that we had
The advantage
addressed
would be
before,
how
you
your
prefer
customers are being treated.
Well, and again, this is the first time I've seen it, so I'm not gonna blindly take this and throw it away.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're saying just on the time, which I understand that, they are good about that. But I think I'd be worried about too, how people are being treated. That's your main concern.
Well-
Because that's on the town, I mean, that's looking at our town.
And if there's more complaints, by all means, from everybody here, have them come to us and give us
Well,
a.
there's tons, you can't even, I worked at IGA, and there's tons of people coming through, and
I believe you, I believe
not
you.
coming too.
But this is the only one that I have.
Because then you're gonna start having problems with them. How much problems am I gonna have because I came to the
Well, I
town?
assure you, we have.
Guaranteed I'm gonna have
If I
problems.
start getting 5, 10 complaints on a particular service that the town utilizes, the police department utilizes, we're not gonna use that service.
But I'm gonna say,
As long as
now
it's
that I came to the
substantiated
town,
complaints.
I'll have problems with them, period, guaranteed.
Well, the next time you're in a situation, obviously, I understand it. Again, I'm not putting any blame on your shoulders. I know, I said, well, you probably should have used a different company. I understand that you were in a collision. Your nerves were probably through the roof.
And I've never had issues with them. I have always did all my towing through them,
Right.
always, until this one time that they treated me
Well,
like
and
that.
that's why, again, to make sure that
And
this
I've never
problem
been
doesn't happen
videoed, I
again.
was not rude to them. Now, at the end, yes, I was rude, but I mean, what kind of smart aleck remark are you gonna say, I'm not McDonald's restaurant? Just because I asked for an itemized thing. I mean,
The way that I
there's no
pers-
reason for that
The way that I
comment.
personally and professionally view this, though, is because this was not a police impound, this is a private tow, this would be like the police department or the town getting involved in the making of a sandwich at Subway. You know, if somebody says, hey, I ordered this with chicken and it came, and they're trying to involve the police department and the town in this decision. I understand the affiliation with using this company in particular for impounds, but this was not an impound type situation. So my biggest goal, like I said, for your particular instance, my recommendation would be to talk to your attorney, pursue civil litigation against it. And then my biggest goal after that is to make sure we don't have this problem happen again.
But guaranteed you will, because, I mean,
Well-
it's been going on for years.
But again, the first you know, if there's other people involved that you know that have these issues, have them come talk to them. Have them come talk to the town council.
Yeah, they need to fill out a report, because without a report, we cannot do anything, our hands are tied. You know, if this is happening more than what we're aware of, it has to be in writing, it has to be in black and white in order for the council to even review it, as what you're doing
Yeah.
now.
I mean,
That's understandable.
somebody can't just come up to me and say, Johnny just broke in my car.
I understand
You need to
that.
go
I
arrest him.
understand that.
I can't just go arrest
Yeah.
Johnny. You have to have the same, have everything substantial.
Yes, I understand that.
Again, I do appreciate you actually filling this out, and I assure you, I will look at this, I'll get our criminal investigation involved, make sure there's no crime involved, what happened, talk to the prosecutor's office, and then,
I mean, like I said, being recorded going, that was fine, no problem with that.
There's
But
nothing
be
against
all, don't be literally in my face when I said, do you seriously have to be that close to my face? There's no need for that.
Indiana is a one-party recording state, so
And I
only
understand
one
that.
individual has to know that it's recorded.
But be from a distance, you don't have to be, I mean, literally right here in my face when I have to grab the phone.
Again,
and
I would
ask you
consult my
that.
attorney about your attorney about your particular issue. Thank you.
Bob, do you have a street report?
You know, I have for Saturday one, we did work most of the water work.
We have gentlemen here from Brown Equipment, do you have any information for us, or?
Bob had some street sweeper quotes and pictures and stuff that he had, that we had given him, and he'd come to the shop, so I think he was gonna bring that up. I don't know when we want to do that.
Yeah,
but-
we can do that now under town.
Okay.
You want to bring that under the street market, Jim?
What, Jim, what Bob is looking at, we have that total factor in the tank, we have a quote for, refresh my memory here.
32,000 for the floor on the back.
We would purchase, we have to take it out of $7, right?
Which you gotta appropriate, we can take it out.
Right. And you used the 32,000 for payments on it. What was the cost on that sweeper?
80,000, we did a $3,000 trade-in on your old machine.